wasted, there is a big overarching theme that we have today about getting you to that finish line so that today you can decide to truly do something different with the way you run your business and then commit to a timeline to actually start and finish. And together we're going to celebrate on the other side. Are you ready to get and celebrate together? Yes? Woo! Yeah. Jenny's like, yeah, bring it. Awesome. So as you realized in the midst of everything that has been going on, that, we've pulled this together very quickly. It looks like Jax is happy. She's jumping around the room trying to warm up for the morning. Yeah. So all of what's been going on, you will have seen that we've done so many things together. Let's do a quick recap of what we've already achieved together today over the last 2 days, and we've still got one to go. So on day number 1, we started with, of course, just the normal housekeeping stuff, but then we also talked about the customer's life cycle. Which part of that customer's life cycle do you believe that you are most lacking in? What was the one that you were like, okay, I need to fix that? Pop that into the chat and let me know. And then we moved into some click by click. We started in the custom values. Then we moved into lead magnet. So everybody's created a lead magnet now. Then we created the opt-in landing page so that once people want your lead magnet, we send them there. And then we went to the thank you page and then gave you a script to create a video for that to try and get them to book an appointment. And then we worked on the workflow for the new lead. And then finally, we looked at how to move people through a pipeline as soon as they start engaging. That was a good day, right? Now, yesterday, I've got 2 screens for this one. Yesterday, we set up your personal calendar. Then we went and set up your discovery call calendar, and a few of you did a couple of extra calendars as well. Then we moved into and looked through the opportunity pipeline and understanding the different stages that people go through from being a lead right through to joining you as a raving fan and customer. Then we set up your appointment confirmations and reminders so that less people are likely to no-show or cancel on you. Then we set up the follow-up and cancellation and no-show workflows. Then we did that how did it go form setup. That one's pretty cool, right? That one is the one that magically makes so many things happen in the background that if you had to do it manually, one, you'd probably forget, right? Or you would just, you try to do it and run out of time generally. Yes. Can you get a what? Oh, okay, team, can you throw the dashboard link in, please? And then the stale lead 90-day re-engagement campaign. But that was not it. As well as that, we continued with so many automations that we did the follow-up date reminder. So when you need to follow up, not only does the system follow up for you, but it also sends you an email and a text message to remind you that you had told somebody today that you need to follow up with them. Then we set up the contact replied alert. So when somebody replies to you via all different reply channels, you also get an alert to let you know to quickly go check that alert, go check that message, go check that email. It's important. Go and reply back. And then we set up the database reactivation campaign where you provide a free gift in order to get them to opt in. And then we moved into inbound missed call automation. And that one's a huge game changer, because if people are looking for somebody and they're slowly ringing different companies and they ring you and they get engaged, go to voicemail, or it rings out, the system automatically texts them and say, sorry, I missed you. How can I help? and also messages you with a little button to click to say, ring this person, click here. And then we started working on that 2-year nurture. Now, most of you already had and went with the templates that we gave you in that 2-year nurture, which was 96 emails and a lot of different and text messages sporadically as well. And we talked about soft and hard opt-ins to scatter those and what evergreen long-term email nurtures are to ensure that once you build it once, it's done. And every week for 2 years, you have amazing resources and content being delivered to people. And then we moved into birthdays and holidays if you wanted to do that. Now, another topic we discussed was IPAs. Let me know in the chat, what was your biggest takeaway from the IPA, apart from me getting up on my high horse and feeling like I was getting the whip out? Come on, do your IPAs. What was your biggest aha moment with that? And then I was going to do 1 hour of laser coaching. But as always, 1 hour turned into 3. And we were in here laser coaching until about 5 p.m. my time, I believe. And then Jackie and I didn't get a chance to edit videos last night because by the time I walked in the house, I said to my husband, I'm like, I feel like I'm floating, not in a good way. Because I'd been up since 4 a.m. and I left the computer, I think it was just after 6. Jackie's like, leave. And so I left, and then I'm messaging Jackie in the kitchen. And she's like, aren't you in bed yet? And I'm like, no, because I'm talking to Danny. So I did do, as a lot of you told me to do during laser coaching, leave and go and spend time with your husband. So I did. Okay, I did. I gave him some love. And I did stay in bed 15 minutes later this morning than I was going to, and got cuddles. So that was really nice, and he was happy. All right, my lovely people, day number 3. So day number 3, we are, wrapping everything up. There's still some things inside of the business in a box that we need to cover. But day 3. How are you all feeling? Put in the chat one word that describes what the last 2 days have been like for you. Come on, come back. Do that tippy tap typing. Let me know in the chat what has been like the one word that describes what it's been like for the last 2 days. Hang on, I'm trying to find my little chat window. Where is it gone? Over here. There we go. All right, here we got manic. Okay, it has, but hopefully in a good manic way. Maria says excited. I love that. Who else? Come on, tippy tap fingers. We've got Meg. She says amazing. Jenny, value, plus. Thank you so much. That's all right, Meg. The replays will go up. I just need a chance to edit them. But all of our elites, I will just be putting the uncut version into the replay hub over the coming days, because then I don't feel so stressed about having to get everything edited and up straight away. I'm going to try my best, though. We'll see how floaty I feel by the end of today. Extremely useful, yet getting lots of shit done. We certainly will. Stephanie says extraordinary, totally good manic. Thank you, Alison. Awesome, guys. Well, look, it has been a fabulous day. But as we start concluding, right, today I want you to really start thinking about, what am I going to do next? If you continue doing the same old thing, nothing ever changes, right? So we're going to get through today, and we're going to start planning out, and we're going to slay what you do for the next 12 months. Think about it. Where do you see yourself in the next 12 months from today? After everything we've covered, where do you see yourself, right? If you're ready to commit and you love what you got here for free, imagine what you get if you pay. All right, now I've just got a couple of things here. My team tell me that we've had a few questions that have come in overnight. So before we get into the rest of this morning's content, I just wanted to share some answers, and in my experience, if one of you have the question, then probably 10 or 20 of you probably have the same question. So it's all right with your permission if I just kind of go and address all of these? Awesome. Thank you. So one of the questions is like, do I have to take action and join now? Because I don't really have enough time for this. Now, I want to speak to that. This program is actually designed to save you time by helping you to streamline systems and processes. You've seen I've given you the business in the box. When you're in the elite program, there's lots of other things that we build and just give you. Like at the end of this week, we will have a live streaming automation that goes out every week during your regular weekly live. So, of course, we're going to give that to you. Imagine if you had to set it up yourself, right? So these are the sorts of things that you get as an elite as we build things. And if you want them, there you go, take that, right? So our goal is to get you out of just surviving day to day and into thriving by using our resources, our training, our templates to use our model, right? Because we don't want you to start from scratch. We don't need you to reinvent the wheel, right? Better results, less time. Better results, less time. All right. Another one that came in was, I'm just starting out in my business and how much money do I really need to get started? And honestly, they say, am I ready? I'm not sure if I can afford the program. To be honest, can you afford not to? If you're new or you're feeling stuck or you're overwhelmed, this is the actual program for you. Think about the return on investment versus the cost of inaction. If you continue on the road that you may have been on, and I've heard some of you say, I've been trying for years. If you've enjoyed this support, imagine having this support for 12 months. Where do you think you would be in 12 months from now if you continued working with us every single week for the next 12 months? Do you think life would look a little different? Do you think business would look a little different? So if you're ready for change, you want the support, you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel, you want to get there faster, simpler, easier, also with an amazing community of like-minded people, the elite program really is for you. So do you want to be the tortoise or do you want to be the hare? Right? We've actually designed it to support you, and this program is actually cutting a check for speed. For hand-holding you through getting all of these automated systems set up, right? You think what we've done is good today, imagine a year of it. Now, another question we had that came in was, where is it? I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch your messages at the same time. What's the difference between OmniSam and the Elites? So OmniSam is a different product, okay? OmniSam is the software, okay? That's a standalone product, the software. That is 147 AUD a month, or less than $100 a month if you're in America. And the Elite program is a mentoring program. Not just mentoring, we give you all the stuff we build. Like every month, my goal is to build another automation, another marketing action plan every month. And if it's one that you want, you take it. And if we have a big enough request for a particular type of automation, we'll prioritize that build so the rest of you have it. Now, we won't build for you, as in go in and do a custom build. That's different. But the Elites, you can take my shit and add your own sparkle to as many things as you want. And the thing that we do as well is not just the automation, our scripts, our coaching programs, our templates, our frameworks. we've got many other coaches in the community that have different modalities, and they all share their programs with each other. We've got some of the community members that have joined up together and like run weekly meetings just to keep each other accountable with each other. So it's not software, it's the mentorship, right? Now, another question was, can I pay monthly? Yes, you can. You can pay monthly. It's $333 a month, and you can just go month to month to month, okay? Or the special action-taking bonus is you save $999 for the year if you join during G.S.D. Now, that countdown clock is going to hit 0 at 4 p.m. today, which means that's it. I'm strict with my deadlines. At 4 p.m. today, if you do not grab that $3,000 or at least pay $9 today, and you've still got 7 days to figure it out, right? Find something to figure out if you can afford it, or pay the $9 to have a longer conversation to talk more about the program. And then if you decide not to join us, we'll refund your $9. But you've got until 4 p.m. to either pay $9 to think about it and have a conversation, and then or pay your $3,000 and like, I'm all in. They're my action takers. So the other question here was, can I just purchase the software? Yes, you can. There is ongoing support. So there is 24/7 tech support. So if you're in the tech and you're trying to make something work and you're not sure where the button is, you can help, tippy tap type, or ask to jump into Zoom. They are not strategists. So they won't be building new funnels for you. They will not be having strategy conversations talking about where to get new leads, how to do marketing strategies, helping you refine your sales calls. But they'll help you with the tech. The Elite program is a mentorship program to help you beyond just the tech. It's to help you with your mindset. It's to help you learn how to do great sales calls, because it's just conversations, guys, they are. But I've got a script for that, right? So if you just want the software, all good. But if you want to really cut a check for speed and get those systems up and running and be able to brainstorm every single week with like-minded people, then the Elite program is for you. So go hit that I'm all in button right now, even if it's just the $9, so that you can lock it in and you've got another 7 days to think about it. So when do you have to decide? Like, I got about 3 of those messages. When do I have to decide? Well, today, this afternoon, there is going to be a welcome celebration for everybody who either pays $9 or the $3,000 up front to just be done. I'm like, I'm all in. So this afternoon, we will have a celebration. It's a bit of an orientation. We're going to show you all the additional resources, give you access to everything you need to get started, create your action plan for the next 30 days. Look, it's not that it's decision time that you can never join the program again, but why would you want to miss the start of something? Because to be honest, you're all founding members. For life, you will always be a founding member, which comes with extra perks and bonuses than people that are going to join us in the next year or two. Now, only you can do the work, however, right? But you don't have to do it alone. If not you, who? If not now, when? And if not this, what? You have questions? Well, if you've got them, let Jackie know and she'll jump into a breakout room with you and have a chat. All right. So go hit I'm all in. Seriously. All right, let's get into some content now. I've got some really awesome content because, let me get up my little screen here. Now, we're going to dive into some content, some life skills that you need to know. And even though we're building all of these systems, you all need to sell, don't you? Who gets a little scared to sell? Who's scared to have those conversations? Yeah, Jax, we get it. You're like me, baby. You just like talking to people. That's why I'm good at it. I'm just curious about people. But what's one of the scariest things that everybody talks about when it comes to sales? Objections. Who hates the objections? Well, I want to talk to you today about objections and enrollment theory. And like I said, this is a life skill, not just for now, but even for conversations that you have with your family. Okay? Overcoming objections. This content will teach you life skills that you need, first, to grow your business, secondly, to enroll your family in your vision, your friends, your team, your clients, in exactly what your vision is for a business. But I want you to really start to know that you cannot sell a secret. We can build it, but they will not come. They will not come. Okay. So here is here we go. Oh, that's what I want to do. Got to go to my little screen thing here. Where is it? So let's talk a little bit about the art of enrollment. Okay. So let me move my keyboard out of the way. So I've got my little drawery thing. Okay. So the art of enrollment is, when you're doing sales, you've got to, that there's going to be objections. Can anyone let me know? I'm going to show you here what are the main objections. I'll give you some clues. There's this one. There's this one. There is this one. This one. Or actually, they both go together. So what are some objections that you normally hear from people? Yeah, they're starting to come in. Yeah. Yep. Time, money. Yep. Fear. Yep. Exactly. All right. So let's talk about each of these, but also how do we overcome them? So the first one is time and money. Now, these two aren't always true. Sometimes they're just an excuse. You see, there's a spectrum, right, for time and money. Now, down this end here, not enough time is I'm working 4 jobs, I've got a sick mum, and I'm a carer, and I have a child with a disability. I don't have the time. Or up this end, I don't have the time is, I would have to cancel, an activity that I do on a Saturday morning, or I don't have time because I go and play tennis on a Wednesday afternoon. Can you see the difference in time? So when somebody tells you they don't have time, you say, tell me more. Because what you're trying to do, is it real or is it an excuse for why they don't have time? Now, the same goes with money. Up this end, it's like, I don't have the money. I've got to move a few things around, and I've got an electricity bill next week, and I know that I won't be able to come up with it yet. Or down this end is I'm sleeping in my car right now and I have no money. I'm doing the 4 jobs and I am literally wearing what I've got and I can't even afford to wash the clothes, right? Now, money, that's another objection. You see, when people give you these excuses, you've got to ask why. You see, I was on a sales call. This is so funny. I was on a sales call with a client or a prospect, and she told me, I don't have the money. But she thought she was down here. I can't afford it. I just can't. I can't scrape it up from anywhere. 4 days later, a friend of mine who knew her, and then she came and we had a coffee and we were sitting around. My friend said, oh, let's all go out for coffee. We were sitting around and you know what she told me? Oh, we just bought a $20,000 tens machine. And she told me she didn't have money for my $9,000 program that was going to save her time and help her with all her systems and processes. But she went and bought a $20,000 tens machine. Big difference, right, between time and money. So it's so important that when you're on your sales calls, that you're constantly asking, tell me more, explain, what does not enough time mean to you? What does not enough money mean to you? Now, the next one, and this one can get really scary for people. Does anyone know what the S is? Just waiting to see if anyone knows what the S is. Yes, that's right. Spouse. Right. So spouse, it's hard, right? Asking your spouse for support. But see if you can relate to this. Hi, husband. I've got something to talk to you about. You see, I've been to this 3-day event and, I've been looking around for a while and I really think this thing will work. But, look, I know you've been so wonderful. You've helped with the kids and you've done the washing and you've been helping me so good. And I know it's been 3 days, but look, I really want to do this thing, but I'm not sure if I can. Would you let me? Could I do it? Who feels like that? Like you got to talk to your partner and you're asking for permission. I don't do that anymore. I just tell him what I want. But the thing you should be doing is not asking for permission. You need to head into that conversation and you can educate your people. Hey, and this is a life skill for talking with your kids, with your partner. Don't ask for permission, ask for support. But go to them with a plan. Say, okay, I'm going to do this thing and I'm asking for your support. It means that maybe I've got to do a few extra hours and, sometimes I, won't be able to do certain things because I really want to focus on getting this business up and running. I want to get it off the ground and I know I've got the support. But I would love it if I could have your support. I've got the support in this community, but I would love it if I could have your support. And I promise, all those days where I'm sitting at the dinner table and I'm complaining about business. I'm complaining about not being able to sort things out. I'm whinging to you about, I just don't want to go to that job. I wish that this would just take off. Well, what if I promise that when I do this, I won't bring that to the dinner table anymore? Can you support me in helping me to follow my dreams? Now, this isn't just in sales. This is in life. If you ever want anything, you should be going with a plan when you're going to speak to your spouse, and you need to also show up as your authentic self and stand in your own power. So ask for support, not permission. Now, who knows what the F and the S is? Come on. Yes, right? I know. Okay. Nobody knows what the F and the S is? Fear and shame. Fear usually comes from the fact that you're meant for more. You know that you need to do something, but you have the fear that you won't follow through and take action. What if I do it and it's just like everything else I've done in the past? What if it doesn't work? But if you continue taking the same actions, not changing anything and not stepping up for yourself, what is going to change? The last one, and this is a hard one to overcome, shame. Shame is usually because you know that sometimes you let yourself down and you don't want to tell people and you don't want to admit that the reason things aren't working is because of what? Why? Because of you. You can have the support, but you still have to do the work. I was talking with a client a while ago who was like, oh, I can't get anybody to look at my stuff. I don't know where to go and get people. And I said, well, what are you doing? She said, oh, nothing, because I just don't know. And every time I do it, it never changes. And so I gave them a list of things to do. And she turned around and she's like, I can't do that. That sounds like too much work. And then the shame kicked in of, yeah, I know I need to, but I won't. But you have to. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do it, nobody is. You have to. So when you're thinking about the objections that come up, whether it's time, money, spouse, fear and shame are much harder to uncover. But use these 3 magical words throughout the sales conversations. You see, you should be speaking 20% of the time and they should be speaking 80% of the time. And you're constantly asking, tell me more. Because you dig deeper into, I don't have time. I just miss on wine club with the girls on a Saturday, or time as in I can't. I'm working 4 jobs. Or money as in I can't afford it, but next week I'll buy a $20,000 tens machine. Or I can't afford it and I'm living in my car. I had a client once who said that they can't afford it. They were actually living in their car. And they said, but if I don't do it now, I never will, and I'll continue living in my car. And they made it happen. I had another client who really wanted to join, so they started driving Uber just to come up with the money. I wanted it. When I hired my first coach, oh my God, it was so scary. I was selling stuff from my garage. I was too scared to tell my husband. All right, so this is your objection side. Now, the other part I wanted to talk to you about was the art of enrollment. And during your sales conversations, you're going to be able to see that if somebody isn't ready, they aren't yet enrolled in themselves. Because the first person that anyone needs to enroll is themselves, you. You need to enroll you. You need to believe in you. You need to know that there is no other option. My husband asks me all the time, why don't you just go get a job? It would be so much easier. I'm like, there is no other option. No way. It's not the easy way, but it is my way. Because I know within me that there is no other option. I've 100% enrolled in me. So you need to enroll in you. Then once you enroll you in your program, in what it is that you give, and you believe in yourself and your method and how you help people, yes, there is no other option. When you truly have this calling, there is no other option. The next person you need to enroll after you is your family. When you enroll your family, it's like, come on, guys, I've got this thing. I'm going to do it. Believe me, I'm going to. You got to stand up and show them. Tell them. Ask for their support, not permission. Then when you enroll your family, the next people that you enroll in your vision and your dream is your inner circle. So now you know, I can do this. My family's behind me. And now my friends see what I'm doing. Look at the way I'm changing the world. And start enrolling your friends. I remember ages ago, my friends were like, you're just crazy. Go get a job. Stop network marketing. It's a pyramid scheme. It's not. It's just humans selling something they love. Once you enroll your inner circle, your next focus is to enroll your team. We do this a few times a year, and we'll be doing it next week, which the team need to know. We're doing our regular traction VTO thing together. Enrolling your team in your dreams so that they're rowing the boat with you. And then after you've enrolled you, your family, your inner circle, and you've got your team enrolled, then you can confidently enroll your clients in your program because you believe in you. It all begins with you. Now, if your family, your inner circle don't get it, keep going. When you're successful, then they'll see it. But show up every day for you. It has to start with you. And when you believe in you, your clients will believe in you. Your team will believe in you. It's taken me a while to learn how to be a good leader, to show up and lead by example, put my morning report in, put my end of day report in, because everybody in my team needs to. So do I. And I model what I want others to do. So the art of enrollment, like I said, it starts with you. Yes, commitment and consistency. Exactly. Love that, Maria. Show up, believe in you. There is no other option. Because it's going to be real. If it's not yet, it will be. And Jackie will tell you, what we think, what we say will be. And if you're constantly telling yourself, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, and then you're saying it, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, what's going to happen? Is it going to work? Is it going to just magically work? Oh, actually, yesterday when we were doing coaching, laser coaching, I shared a story on, I had this campaign that I ran for like almost 2 years, not quite, almost 2 years. And so the challenges are the way we love to help people, because I love helping and showing up and inspiring. That was another story that came up about why I love inspiring yesterday as well. But we were talking about, now I've just lost my train of thought, because you can tell I told you Friday is not totally planned. Or day 3. What was I talking about? I just looked down at the comments and then I totally changed. What was I going to say? Anyway, it'll come back to me. The thoughts. So this challenge that I've been running for almost 2 years, and it took me a while to find the thing that made people convert into this free event. After testing a few different types of hooks, eventually we found one, which was how to land high-ticket clients using micro Facebook groups. And we started getting people. And we started getting the right types of people. One of my best, or the best launch I ever had was I closed $225,000 in a week from this challenge. Then somebody said on my team, because we don't just do Facebook groups, we also pay for ads, right? Because we're not scared to spend money to make money. She said, it's a bit of a bait and switch. because you're paying for ads. And I'm like, I'm still using groups. She says, but your groups, some of them are small, some of them are big. And then she mentioned, people who use groups, they don't want to pay for advertising. They're scared and they just think posting in a group. Then internally, I hadn't said this out loud. Internally, I'm thinking, yeah, people that only want to use Facebook groups, they don't want to spend money on ads. They're freebie chasers because they love the free challenge, but they don't want to pay for anything, and they just want it to. And I started thinking it, not saying it. Jackie knows what happened with my sales. Oh my God, my sales went to a first time ever making a loss in a challenge. Crazy. I didn't realize it at the time. It was hindsight when I stopped running the challenge, thinking about why did it change? It was because of the thoughts that I was having. And after thinking it for a while, I started saying it. And then after I was saying it, guess what started happening? I started attracting freebie chasers, complainers, and people who thought that they only had to use Facebook groups for marketing and nothing else. And it was a hard 8 months. Starting to lose money, starting to lose staff, just everything from that first initial thought that eventually I verbalized, but it wasn't until hindsight that I realized what had happened. It all started with a thought. So you need to know there is no other option. I'm here. I'm going to change the world. Look, I hope that you guys are truly enjoying the content that we're sharing with you and that you're going to be able to use this and implement it. Take action, baby. P1 and P2 are back there getting shit done. You need to take the content. One of my favorite things is teaching. I just love it. I could do this all day. I have actually been doing this all day for 2 days. 2 straight 12-hour days, pretty much. Like yesterday, I couldn't believe it. 5 o'clock. I started at 4 a.m. 5 o'clock, I finished laser coaching in the afternoon. Right? But I hope that what I've shared with you truly will help you. Because, what I find is one of the most favorite pieces of content is just turning up and helping you. Showing up and inspiring you to be more, do more, have more. So before we go on a quick little break, I wanted to share my story with you. Would you like to hear a little bit about my story and where I've come? Yeah? All right. So, for some reason, I was thinking to myself last night, sitting there, about all the things that I've done to really get to where I am now, and then I thought back to this time where I had this really, really rough period it was about 2.5 years, and when you're younger, you have all these big kind of visions and dreams about how life will look, how it's supposed to be, how you think when you become an adult. You have a house and a husband and everything's amazing, and you look at your parents and, some of you have come from good and bad families, but, you look up to people and you think, oh, I can't wait to grow up. And then this really rough sort of 2.5 year period began with one of the worst things that you could possibly experience in your life, which was the death of my son. And, I met an amazing husband who everybody needs a Danny. I tell you, he's amazing. And then we got married, just like you would. Not a white wedding, a purple wedding, a purple medieval wedding. He was the prince, I was the princess. My dad even dressed up as a king. Then we got pregnant. Tried to get pregnant on our honeymoon, didn't work. My best friend, who was dating my brother at the time, she got pregnant while I was on my honeymoon in my house while she was house sitting for me. But I got home and I finally got pregnant, and me and my best friend were pregnant together. You know, and she was with my brother. I had just gotten married. Life felt amazing. And then at about the 20-week mark, something happened. I went to the toilet and I had not been feeling good all weekend. I kept saying to Danny, oh, it feels low. I was painting, nesting, painting the shed, nesting. Cleaning up, trying to get everything done. Danny left for work. I went to the toilet, went to wipe myself, and my baby was starting to come out. Freaked out, ran back to bed, rang Danny, rang Mum. Mum rang 911. Who rings 911 in Australia? Now it diverts. Back then it didn't. But that was the beginning of my 2-year of just crazy shit. I lost my son. We finally got pregnant with our daughter. Same thing happened with her. And I thought, here we go again. Here we go again. This man I married, all he wants is children. I ended up stuck in hospital with her from 20 weeks, upside down. No shit. It's called Trendelenburg. Google it. 4 months in a bed, upside down, not allowed to push, can't shower, can't wash my hair. One lovely nurse did come in once and took the back off the bed and washed my hair over a bin. But after that, 4 months, I went into labour 3 times. While dilated the whole time, upside down, not able to push. I do not eat kiwi fruit anymore because I had to eat everyday kiwi fruit with the skin on. Prunes, and have this stuff called lactulose that tastes like rubber honey. It was disgusting. Every goddamn day. I will not touch another kiwi fruit or prune. And I used to love prunes. My nan used to do them for me. Then after I went into labour on Mother's Day and I was 30 weeks pregnant. And I'm like, bring it on. We made it to 28 weeks. We're golden. She's going to live as long as all the others. Right? For 28 weeks, every week we got a piece of paper that told us how less problems you're going to have. So every 4 weeks was a huge milestone. Then finally had her. Guess what? She held until 38 weeks, from 20 weeks dilated. She stayed inside me until 38 weeks. I was ready at 28 weeks after being in hospital from 20 weeks to have her. I didn't know it was a her at the time. So here's what happened, right? Every day Danny would go for a walk. He would go and buy a Mr. Men book. The first book he bought her was Mr. Strong. And he read it to her in my tummy. And then we ran out of Mr. Men books and he had to start buying Little Miss books every day. Then we had 3. We had 3 books he could not find. And the night before she was born, he did the same thing he always does. He read her a book in my tummy. Guess when she was born? He told her, no more Mr. Men books. Can't find them, we'll get them. She came the next day. Crazy, right? And then Danny made all the nurses cry because then she ended up in special care. Even though she was born at 38 weeks, everybody forgot I had group B strep. So they forgot to give me the injections because it happened so fast. So thinking we're going to have this healthy baby, we ended up in special care still anyway, but the nurses loved it because we were family by then and they still love our Christmas cards. Every year we send them a Christmas card with photos of Shay, both the Geelong and the Melbourne hospitals that we spent time in. And he read the last 3 books to her in special care, making the nurses cry. Oh, he's so sweet. Because I still couldn't walk by then. I had spent 4 months in a bed. So I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't even be a mother and wash and bathe. My husband got a sore wrist from, the bathing thing because I couldn't do it. I was still in a wheelchair by then. So now we've got this baby. I haven't been able to generate income for months. Then guess what happens? My back blew. Just gotten out of a wheelchair after rehab for months, and then my back blew. Couldn't afford surgery. Went on a waiting list. Severe pain, not a little, severe pain every day for 2 friggin' years, waiting for surgery until it got to the point where literally because I just kept, getting up and walking around. I got to a point that when I was still, it wouldn't hurt too much. But if I lifted a finger, just a finger, electricity shocks through my entire body. So then I ended up in emergency surgery, and then I had to wait 2-3 days for surgery because emergencies kept coming in from all around Melbourne and can't do the surgery. Someone got hit by a thing, can't do a surgery, bus accident. Couldn't sleep, started hallucinating, thinking everybody in the hospital was out to get me, laughing at me. The nurses were probably just having a lovely chat out in the hallway, thought they were laughing at me because I'm standing every 2 seconds for 3 days, couldn't sleep, would fall asleep to relax, body would relax, electricity shocks. After surgery, they're wheeling me back, the orderlies, they're running through the hallways, smashed my bed because it had one of those bag things, smashed my bed into a doorway, and I went like halfway down my bed after back surgery. Then I couldn't walk. I was stuck in a wheelchair again for another 6 months. Can't work. What the fuck? Is this what life is supposed to be like? Is this it? Like, no money. We couldn't afford the surgery. Luckily, it got that bad that they had to do the surgery because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't move. I couldn't anything. That back surgery was worse than labour. Fuck, give me labour any day over that type of pain. I hadn't been able to maintain any job for 2 years. Now, I thought, I was going to have a family, kids, be able to work and love life. And I was just in a pit of despair. I was just going to give up. Honestly, I thought, why fucking bother? I might as well kill myself. This is ridiculous. I can't live with this pain. I'd had the surgery, didn't take the pain away. Everyone I spoke to had had back surgery said, oh, wake up, it's amazing. I woke up, same as it was. Because it had been that bad, it had crushed so many nerves in my spine that it didn't fully work. And I still have pain. And another couple of years later, I ended up in the same position again for a second back surgery. But luckily by then we had some private health insurance. And rather than 2 years, it was like 2 days to get in for surgery. But I wasn't able to maintain a job. We had hardly any money. We were living paycheck to paycheck. I was in and out of rehab, in and out of a wheelchair. Literally, my exercise was getting up and walking around the kitchen table slowly, watch the fish, back to bed. That's it. My grandfather had to come over and help Danny with the kid. 2 emergency back surgeries, loss of a kid, all this other bullshit, and I haven't even hit 30 yet. And when you first become an adult, you think it's going to be, oh, good, not so hard. But what happened was, when I was stuck in bed after back surgery, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I came across Pretty Nails. Now, you know me, colour. Love me some colour. They sparkle, they're metallic, they glow in the dark. They're all these cool little things. You know, and I've been sitting there like watching the money dwindle away. Always was very good at money. My grandfather taught me how to budget and save from a very young age. But everything was drying up. We were selling stuff to get by. You know, and seeing these pretty nails, what I did, I started running Facebook events because I couldn't get out of bed. I ran parties from my bed. I became one of the first 30 team managers in network marketing from my bed. Then I became the #1 team builder in the company from my bed. Because if these can move while I'm laying down, I can do it. And they were pretty. They were colourful. Now, I still had my mum. My mum's like, network marketing, they're just out to get ya. That's mum, always. I grew up with that. Network marketers trying to get ya. Pyramid scheme. What did I discover with network marketing? I discovered that network marketing is just really amazing people selling something that they love. And to be honest, network marketing was the catalyst to why I'm here today. Because that's when I really discovered that it wasn't the product that I was selling that I love the most. It was my team. It was supporting them and helping them and inspiring them. And even though I was still stuck in a bed, I felt like the fog had started to lift. You know, that 2.5 years, I felt like I was in blinders. I thought life was over. I had considered why bother? I can't help. I can't even look after my own daughter. Who knew that fucking pretty nails would be the thing? And I can tell you right now, most people, I still get messages. I see you've got naked nails, Sally. What's going on? I'm in a startup business, guys. Okay, I'm trying. But that 2.5 years, you know, now I look back and I reflect and I've learnt from it. And I was so scared when I started in network marketing. Mum used to tell me all the time, stop working so hard. Look after your husband. Not a single woman in my family had ever really worked. Every single person in my family before me fed the husband, put their socks on, did the laundry, washing, all the things. And not there's anything wrong with that. Like my dad, seriously, he'd be sitting on his bed that they've been, you know, same bedroom, 40 odd years. Heather, where's my socks? Mum would walk into the bedroom, lean over him, open the drawer, pull out his socks and hand them to him. Then, Heather, where's me hanky, love? You'd hear Mum in the kitchen, oh, God, Frank. Literally, that's how she'd say, oh, God, Frank. And she'd walk in, lean over him, open the top drawer, pull out a hanky and pass it to him. I'd wake up to my nan putting my socks on every morning. So Mum always told me, stop working, look after your husband. I ended up getting a bit of therapy because I had mother's guilt. Who suffered from mother's guilt? Holy shit, that stuff is real. You know you're out there for something bigger, but you're like, oh, I should be doing the thing, especially because I've been brought up and generation after generation of women not working. Not only was I now working, but I was trying to run my own business. Holy Jesus, right? So that was really the catalyst. And, you know, I was really scared to say out loud what I wanted with life. You know, because I started thinking, why bother? But I knew somewhere inside of me that I had this sort of call. Like it's kind of like a distant sound you can hear. It starts as like a little dripping faucet. And then it just keeps getting louder and louder and louder. And like anyone else out there, who's heard it? Who's heard that calling? I mean, I'm not a religious person, but yeah, you feel it, you hear it, and Oprah is one of the people. Actually, Oprah was the reason why I didn't top myself. If I ever met Oprah, like, she saved my life. But I had this, like, you've got to take the call. And Oprah first said that first you hear a knock, then you get a nail, and then you get a 2x4. You cannot resist it. That call, that drip, it got so loud that I just had to do it. I realized that I couldn't wait for my husband, for my family, or anybody else to create the life that I really wanted. Because I had to save me. I had to do it. I had to do the work. I had to take control of my own destiny and what I want. One thing I've learned with my husband, he's not my everything. I love him dearly and I'm his everything, but he is not my everything. You are. You are. All of you. Because of you, I get to do what I love every day. And I do this now for my daughter. Jackie and I, we have such an amazing vision. I've never been so aligned with somebody ever. But we both have this amazing vision together of what we're trying to do here with you. Sure, it's a software, but it's more than that. So, I sat there. I remember sitting there one day. I was just sitting there breathing and thinking, am I going to be stuck in this time forever? Something has to change. I've got to do something. I've got to do something. Who remembers Periscope? Does anyone remember Periscope? I found Periscope and I met Shalene Johnson. Very different from me, very religious, super fit, loves a workout. I'm like, my exercise is parking down the back at the shopping centre and walking in. That's my exercise. Extra steps. I don't park up the front. Yay me. When I go up the escalator, I actually walk up the escalator even though it's moving. Yay me. Here she is running through the street on her little bouncy shoes and her little skates and jumping around, talking about God and religion. But she did say something that really captured my attention. Was about helping people. And then she started talking about her program. And I didn't actually know what I wanted to do back then. I just knew I wanted to do something more. And if anyone's ever done the Passion into Profit program that I've got, it's because of Shalene, which then helped me discover what I can do in mapping sessions that I had no idea that I had this magical thing. So any of you, if you want to change, you've got to do something. No matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter whether your mum's telling you to go get a job, whether your friends are saying it's silly, just you've got to do it no matter what. No matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how scary it is, you've got to do it. Say yes. That's what I do. Say yes and then figure out how. I'm so good at that. Say yes and then I'll figure it out. And you know what I did with Shalene? I said yes. And then I started selling things from my garage to come up with the money. Took me a little bit, but I got it. I got my first coach. I am so blessed I get to work in her community now. You have no idea how much I love to give to the MIA community. But money, nothing. Look at it. Shit everywhere. Money everywhere, everywhere. But hey, look, I've been stuck in bed, no money, not knowing where the next dollar's going to come from. But if you want it bad enough, you will do it. And we're at a point now where we are trying to build a movement of people using the same system, but truly my mission, I remember the time I wrote down, the first time I cried, I want to inspire women. I told this story last night. One of those sorts of cries that comes from so deep that you're like, so stupid, right? All I wrote was, I want to inspire women. But it hit so hard. I was so scared to say it. So then I went from network marketing. Then I started a chocolate mold company business, second largest chocolate mold supplier on eBay. Crazy times. Crazy times. Mum always yelling at me to stop working so hard. I mean, I grew up in a house with no toilet. We used to have to walk out through the mud to get to the Outback Dunny, honey, to go to the toilet. My dad, my granddad had a business. Dad moved into the business. He's still a worker in his own business. He's not an entrepreneur. He's got no exit plan, nothing. Sad for me to watch sometimes. But I remember walking out to the toilet. Saturdays were really bad because the shit can man, actually Stan, the shit can man, would come on a Saturday to pick up the shit can. Every Saturday morning I'd be on the toilet freaking out that Stan was going to come. Right? We all lived in this tiny little house that was mum and dad in a room. The boys slept in the pantry out the back. I slept on the couch. One day mum and dad bought a caravan, so the boys moved out to the caravan and I could sleep in the pantry. Right? That's how big the house was. And I knew I wanted more for myself. I never wanted a job, even though I had one or two. I worked for Centrelink. I mean, of all the corporate companies you could work for was Centrelink. I was working at Centrelink when I had our son and got pregnant with our daughter. And after losing Dylan and having Shay, or losing Dylan and then getting pregnant with Shay and going back to Centrelink, then ending up in hospital with her, I knew that if I went back to Centrelink, I would go back there and I would die. I would live that life, do the corporate thing forever. That is the time after the network marketing, I had to leave the company that's a story for another day. And I said to my husband, give me 5 years, please. I know we've been putting this little bit of money in a bank account for Shay, but can I use it? And I'm one who's good at saving, and we'd just lost a ton of money over the last few years. Give me 5 years, please. Just can you give me 5 years? And mum still, get a job. And I'm like, no. I mean, it didn't make sense. If I was just going to continue doing the thing that I did, if I went back to that Centrelink job, I would have died there. It would have been the less risky decision because they don't get rid of you once you work for the government, right? You can do anything. But it made just no sense for me to go back to a real job, to be part of, the normal world. It was much more risky to do what I'm doing now. And it's not easy. We've been through ups and downs. It's not as though it's been all rainbows and sunshine the whole way. I know this doesn't make sense, but I've got to go and give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try. I'm going to go out. I'm going to find my dream. I don't even know what it is yet, but I'm going to find it. I mean, after losing Dylan, that's when I realized how fleeting life can be. Losing him so fast, hugging him, saying goodbye to him, getting photos in the hospital with him because I couldn't take him home. I've actually got a blackboard over there on the wall that says, life is too short to sweat the small shit. That's why I try to stay positive all the time. Not all the time. Jackie can always tell, even if I'm smiling, there's a little tone in the back. She can tell I'm probably doing this with my toes, even though this is happening here. But I wanted to take all of these bad experiences of losing him and almost losing Shay. Danny thought after I had Dylan, I was about to die. They couldn't stop the bleeding for like 5 hours, gushing. So he just lost his son and now he was about to lose his wife. But I wanted to take all of this stuff and make something good out of it. I mean, every year at Christmas, together as a family, we go and buy a Christmas present for Dylan and we put it under the Kmart wishing tree for a boy, actually now an adult man. Back then it was like riding gears and bikes and skateboards. I don't know, what do we buy a 22-year-old man for Christmas? Well, we'll figure it out this year. But together as a family every year. Why? Because we celebrate his life. One of Shay's friends' mums told me off one day because I used to talk about Dylan around Shay. She said, oh, that's not nice. That's not right. I'm like, she talks about him. She even writes his name on her cards. Love Shay and Dylan. Didn't ask her to do that. But then, I knew my mum was correct, but she was not right. Correct means it would have been smart for me to go back to that normal job. But it would not be right for me to do that. Who realizes that? Yeah? Who has those people? They are correct, but they're not right. You're here for more. You see, often people who love us the most, who want to protect us the most, she said it from a place of love because she does love me. She did, or she still does, even though I lost her recently. Even though I'd gone through so many trials and, honestly, guys, I just shared some. I'm not going to share anymore. I'm done. But you see, sometimes the safest decision is actually the riskiest one. Yeah? The riskier one was to actually try and find the money to hire Shalene. Because then I had to do the work. I had to stand up. I had no one telling me what to do but me. Because even though I hired her, she didn't know me. I was just doing her course. The riskiest was going to my husband and asking to use Shay's little bit of money in her bank account and give me 5 years, please. Now he has a housekeeper because I don't want to do the housework. She has saved our marriage, right? He had to start doing housework and he used to do it because I was unwell, right? But then what happened when I became well, he started getting real angry that the house wasn't clean. And I'm like, I'm busy over here building my dream, baby. And I remember you used to write down, we all have that thing where we write down, why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? I used to write for my husband. No, really, for me to hire a housekeeper for my husband. So he has someone here every day cleaning. He's happy. Right now, when I told him I was going to hire her, she's like, no, we can do it. We can do it. Now he won't give her up. He won't give her up for anything. Even when in startup, when we're, putting extra finances into start a new business, I said, we need to stop spending money, stop buying things for the car. And I said, maybe I need to cut Ebony's hours. He goes, no. Okay, husband, okay. I remember sitting there one day. I was just sitting there and I was like, I was feeling so judged because I felt like I still had to ask permission. It wasn't until I made my first million that I realized that maybe I don't need to ask for permission anymore. But right up and even still, sometimes I do. You see, the riskiest decision sometimes is not, it is actually the safer choice. Because when you finally decide to go all in and do it for you, you can't do it for anybody else. It has to start with you. Then it becomes for everybody else. It does. That's where we're at. That's where I'm at. It is for everyone. I would do this if I had no money. Jackie and I talk about it all the time. If we didn't get paid, we would still do this. And then we'd find something to sell. Right? I mean, this necklace I used to make jewelry. Always find something to make money. I used to knit and make covers for coat hangers and sell them, so the wooden coat hangers wouldn't put the things in the shoulders. Used to knit them and sell them to make money. Jewelry, chocolate molds, that's a big crazy story. Drop shipping, and even buying things when I was 8 at the local market, taking them to the school and selling things on the school playground. Now, in hindsight, there's Sally, the little entrepreneur. She didn't realize that there was a thing called entrepreneur until after she'd been in network marketing for a few years in her 30s, right? So if you've got a calling, I want you to take the call. Can you do that? Because if you're being called, I can't explain it. And if you have a calling, you just know it. It's not a religious thing. It is something. I want you to take the call. It's scary. It's goddamn uncomfortable. Maybe nobody around you at the present time can see your vision. But I want you to see it for yourself. If you're being called, I want you to rise up. I want you to take the call. It's not an easy decision. It will be goddamn uncomfortable. It will be hard work. Everybody around you may just think you're goddamn crazy. But when you look back in hindsight like I can now and you self-reflect, you will be so glad you did. You listen to your heart, not your head. Your heart rarely makes the wrong decision. These two muscles, this one and this one, my heart, it heard the calling. It just took my head a little while to catch up. And now look, I met Jackie. And I love that woman. She's like my sister that I never knew I had. And I have this amazing team who work just because. They come in at goddamn 4:00 because they're amazing humans. And I cannot believe that I get to stand up and inspire people every day. How amazing. I know for some of you, as we, take a break and I go and dry my tears and drink, they say when you're bloody crying, you should drink water because it helps to dry up the tears. Who knew when I decided to talk about this morning, this would goddamn happen. I am not a crier. I am an avoider. If anyone knows me well, I avoid emotion like the friggin' plague. Because I've already dealt with enough shit. I very rarely cry. But come on, I want you to take the call. No matter what you do or what you decide today is setting you up for where you're going to be tomorrow. What you tell yourself silently, right here in your brain, that you don't say out loud, is setting you up for tomorrow. So today, I want you to make a decision to commit to the harder road. Take the riskier road. Don't let a day become a decade. Don't let a week become a month become a year, and a year become a decade, and you still haven't answered the call. You see, I've been able to build this amazing tribe. We started a movement. It started in the Sparkle world, and now it's just rolled on over to OmniSam. So much has grown from back in my network marketing days, being the leader of the Sparkleberries, to where we are today. So much bigger than I ever imagined. And you know what? Sure, we've built $1 million company in the past, but you know what I did with most of that money? Facebook ads and more staff to help you. I didn't go and buy the mansion, the Maserati, so I could drive around and say, look at me. I spent it on you. Hiring more people so that you can get more help. I'm that crazy person up the front dancing like a friggin' idiot. And for some reason, you guys follow me. And to be honest, it's all you. You are the reason this exists. If it wasn't for you, none of this. I could be standing up there like a dickhead, talking, no one listening. But you do. I want to share a little video that they shared with me when I was back in my network marketing days that shifted, because I don't like talking in front of people. I actually get nervous in real space. This, cool, computer, lights, flat faces. I literally can hide my own face behind all the gazillion things open on my screen. But I watched this and I was like, go on, be that crazy person. Let's start a movement. And then I met Jackie. We're just as crazy. One day we're going to be on Twitch together, aren't we, love? Being and doing all our crazy. So I wanted to share that video with you before we head into a quick break. Here you go. Hey, wrong button. No, wrong button.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
There you go. I just love that. Thank you all for following the crazy. I do love you all so much. I truly do. So we're going to take a quick break so I can go and get another coffee, a wiggle break. Now, look, if you don't decide or do decide to commit, whatever you choose to do, please do not let a day become a week become a month become a quarter become a year, and a year become a decade. Because if not you, who? If not when? If not now, when? And if not this, as an elite to sparkle what? I would love you to claim your place inside of the elite program. If you've got any questions at all, Jackie may hang around while I go and pull myself together and touch up under my eyes, put that makeup back. We will be starting our celebration after lunch today. So now's the time for you to go out and take action. Decide to come and commit. Come join this crazy world with us. Let's create change together. Okay, let the next week and month and year together be amazing. I cannot wait to see where we can help you get to. If not you, who? If not now, when? We're here to start with you. We'd love to welcome you into that celebration party today. So I hope this program really will be an amazing start for you. Head to the dashboard, click I'm all in, or the team will drop the link in the chat. If you've got any questions, Jackie's going to hang around while I take a quick break. Stand around, stand by, because we've got more click by click coming your way really soon. We're going to so much building to do. Okay, so I'm going to be waiting here to support you. Claim your space, right? Claim your space. Talk to Jackie if you want to talk more about the program so we can welcome you in that celebration. Now, we're going to take a 15-minute break, maybe 20-minute break. I'll see how I feel. I seriously need to go for a walk. Claim your spot. I cannot wait to welcome you later on today. Let's start a movement together, guys. All right, I'll talk with you real soon. Where's my button?